up on MHS1, we'll give you a look inside the new grading policy,
magicians,
and words with friends.
and it's all coming up on MHS1. Good morning, McKinney High School. I'm Andrew Wilson.
And I'm Nicole Quincy, and you're watching MHS1. With the introduction of STAR testing, grading policies will change substantially for participating students. Here's Jared and Andrew with a closer look.
In 2009, Texas legislature passed House Bill 3 with plans to replace tax testing with the new STAR end-of-course exams. This new program hopes to incorporate more relevant and challenging testing, beginning with this year's freshmen.
Historically, with tax tests, it's been more skills-based, and now that you're moving into the end-of-the-course exams, it's actually associated with that curriculum in the given course.
Instead of needing to pass 4 exit exams junior year, the STAR tests in each core area, math, science, English, and social studies, for a total of 12 end-of-course exams. As long as the average of the 4 tests is passing, students will meet the statewide requirements, but the STAR tests have a much bigger impact.
The grades that you receive on the EOCs will count 15% towards your final course grade.
Much like the tax test, ACT, and SAT, the new end-of-course exams will be graded on a scaled score instead of the typical 0 to 100. Currently, there's not a conversion method in place to give students a relatable grade, meaning no one knows what a passing score is.
In February, there will be a steering committee that assembles, and it is charged with establishing what those passing standards are going to be. And we're hoping to see in April what those passing standards will look like.
Students aren't alone. Teachers are also affected by an information gap.
They're just sending us information as they get it, so we're kind of just trying to do the best that we can. But our curriculum is based off of the TEKS, just like it always has been.
The lack of certainty has resulted in many students becoming apprehensive about the future of their GPA.
It's just all the fear of the unknown.
The STAR results will come in June 8th. If a student fails a course solely based on their test results, a retest will be available in July and the course grade may be recalculated.
When they have a much harder test than the tax, all those people that usually would have a moderately low GPA will go even lower, and it makes it much harder for people to get higher GPAs.
Some students argue that 15% of their grade is too much for a test they know little about.
Yeah, and then they just throw us in unprepared without raising us to it to start with. It shouldn't count for this much to start off with.
The first STAR test will be administered at the end of March, leaving students plenty of study time. This has been Jared Ensley and Andrew Wilson reporting for MHS1.
Theater just performed their annual musical. Here's Kayla and Demetrius with more.
This past few months, MHS thespians have been preparing a new show called Finnegans Rainbow.
Our director picks the plays every year, and normally they're like from the year before, or she just picks them over the summer or something.
In Finnegans Rainbow, I played a gospelier and a harmonica player named Sunny. Gospeliers are a really fun group of people who actually, the character, the Senator Rockins, is a very racist white man who's then turned black, and we teach him how to be black. It's very fun.
My favorite part of the show was being in necessity because a lot of the girls got to get together and we got to act a little more soulful.
Many elements of the play were student produced.
It was interesting, choreographing, because I've never been in a leadership position before, but me and Stephanie really handled it really well, and it was cool to see that our work was up there, and it was a student collaboration, and everyone respected it, and they ended up loving to dance just as much as I do.
definitely kind of sad because you have to remember we have actors who can't sing, and then you have singers who can't act, and then you have dancers who can't sing, and then you have me, and I can't dance at all. It's terrible. But yeah, that's kind of what makes it fun. It's just it somehow all comes together at the end.
As a whole, in the end, it was really great. I think it was worth every time, everything we did for this play. It was great.
This has been Kayla Hopman and Demetrius White reporting for MHS1.
Xanga with Friends, the company responsible for such mobile apps as Words with Friends, is located in downtown McKinney. Here's Jamie, Devin, and Jordan with more.
The creators of popular games such as Words with Friends and Hanging with Friends are located closer than you'd think, right here in downtown McKinney. Let's meet the creators who have influenced the lives of so many students.
My brother and I are the two that came up with the With Friends idea. And when the iPhone first came out, I said to myself, what are the kind of games that could exist on the iPhone that couldn't exist anywhere else? And so we started looking at, well, what's the things that are unique about the iPhone? And one of the most unique things is that it's really a communication device first and a game platform second. Well, what would it mean to create a game that's all about connecting with other people? And that's where the With Friends concept came from.
Creating an award-winning game takes brainpower, creativity, and skill.
We move a game through 4 different phases here. So first phase is concept. We try to spend 1 day a week at the studio coming up with new stuff. We call it Indie Fridays, and on that day we ask everybody to stop doing their normal daily job and instead focus on thinking about what's next. What are we going to work on next? So we have tables full of board games, prototypes, people take whiteboards and draw games up there, like anything goes. So that's the first phase. Once a game moves out of that phase, out of concept, and we say, this is a really good idea and it's getting a lot of excitement, then it moves into prototype. And prototype is when we actually start building a playable version of the game on the phone and to see if it's actually fun. We send it out to our friends and family, see if they like it. Once a game gets past that phase, then we actually move into production. That's the part where it takes 3 or 4 months and a real team, and we build the game, we polish it, we fix all the bugs. And then the last phase is once a game is shipped, we actually continue to develop on it.
Words with Friends was so successful that we kind of had to continue on with that and do more. And Hanging with Friends was our first branch off into that. I think that what we've learned is people just love playing games this way. And we chalk that success up not just to the fact that it's a fun game, but it's also a game that, connects people to their friends.
After 2.5 years at the top of the App Store and a statistic of 1 in 5 Americans playing their game, the Xanga with Friends company has handled their success quite well.
I think back to when we first were creating Words with Friends, and it was my brother and I sitting in the McKinney Public Library creating something that we wanted to play. We had no idea if other people were going to like it or not. We just were like, we were passionate about what we were building because we wanted to play, we wanted to share it with our friends. And when you go from there to here in just 3 years, it's like, it's something you can't really wrap your brain around, or I can't anyway. But it's been an incredible ride.
This has been Jamie Weiss, Devin McGuire, and Jordan Mordecai, reporting for MHS1.
When you're late to first period, your Friday night gets booked. When your Friday night gets booked, you get testy. When you get testy, you get clumsy. When you get clumsy, you don't get asked to morp. And when you don't get asked to morp, you get hooked on telenovelas.
No, Diego, no.
Don't get hooked on telenovelas. Be on time to first period to start your day out right.
Here's Jamie with sports.
Thanks, guys. Tonight is the annual Crosstown Showdown game against the Bulldogs at North. Be sure to support your Lions as they try to advance in district play. The girls' basketball team has started off their season strong. Be sure to watch their game tonight against North. The varsity wrestling team takes on districts February 4th. Be sure to go out and cheer for them. That's all for sports. Now back to you.
Thanks, Jamie. Hey, Nicole, remember that snowstorm and the awful road conditions last year?
Yeah, just in case that happens again, here's Austin, Taylor, and Christine with some safe driving tips.
Texas winters tend to be extreme, so be prepared for anything. Always remember to defrost your car completely before moving so you can see the road in front of you. When driving in extreme weather, you should always decrease speed and leave at least 3 times as much space between you and the other vehicles. When braking, apply brakes gently to avoid skidding. Never assume your vehicle can handle the conditions. Any vehicle can lose control in poor weather conditions. If your front wheels skid, take your foot off the gas and shift to neutral. Do not try to steer immediately. If your back wheels begin to skid, steer into the direction of the skid to prevent spinning. If you have anti-lock brakes or ABS, do not pump the brakes. Instead, apply steady pressure. You may feel pulses, but this is normal. When driving on ice, low gears assist with traction. Always remember, never drive through running water.
Here's Maddie and Jessup with a look on the funnier side of detentions.
Trouble is everywhere. Most of us try to avoid it, others can't get out of its way. There's a lot of ways to wind up in detention. The fact that we survive it all is a miracle, because every day we face 1,000 ways to detention. Ethan Clippert Rowe and Spencer Banks will explain their great writing utensil heist.
All right, me and a couple friends realized we didn't have any pencils during our classes in the 8th grade.
We would always have to ask the pretty girls for pencils, and it was kind of embarrassing.
So we realized that the fastest way to obtain pencils was to take them from people. Soon that escalated to staplers, teachers' name tags, hole punchers.
We would open the locker, and then we would put folders to block the pencils from coming out.
But it came to a point where we had filled up like an entire locker all the way up to the top with pencils.
And then we had to move it to 2 lockers.
We attempted to recreate the conditions of Spencer and Ethan's locker.
Me and Ethan were joking about like giving it to a teacher at the end of the year for school supplies because we were leaving and going to high school, so we didn't really care. And we were picturing which teacher would take it the best, and we just totally chose the teacher that would take it the worst. So one day, by this time, I wasn't even with Ethan because I had already been sent to ISS that day.
I walk in there with a big pencil bag and set it on her desk waiting for a reaction. And at first she smiles, but then she got that angry face on, that angry look, and she did the finger.
Spencer and Ethan thought that there would be no repercussions for their actions. Sadly, they were mistaken.
Do you believe in magic?
Nope, but I know someone who does. Here's Eli, Torian, and Andra with the story.
There are many hobbies that McKinney High participates in, but some you have to find out of the curricular.
4.5 years ago, I went to a camp at Harding University with Adam Rose, and basically he did magic the entire time. It really interests me, and he made me promise him that if I took up magic, I'd never give it up.
It was his own thing. I think Adam got him involved, and they had a great friendship working on it together, and CJ's thing. Nobody else in the family's pushed him that way at all.
We then decided to discuss CJ's capabilities.
Oh, I think it's progressing. I think every day he gets a little bit better. I think definitely the cool thing about magic is you always can learn. You're always a student of magic. You're never as good as you want to be. He's still learning, but I think he has a lot of potential in what he's doing, and I think he loves it, which is probably the most important part.
CJ hopes to fulfill his dreams and continue to do magic.
Hopefully I see myself either working for a magic website or doing magic professionally in wherever I live.
This has been Andrew Van Ballen, Eli J., and Torian Turner reporting for MHS1.
I don't know who to ask to MORP. I don't even think I'm gonna go to MORP. I don't even know what corsage means. Hey, who's in your group? Do you have a group? Oh my god, who's in your group? Can we take a photo booth pic? I look fat and everything. Are you going to MORP? Oh, we have to have a limousine. Why can't all the boys just ask us? Oh my god, they have to be in our group. Oh my gosh, this is so cute. We have too many people in our MORP group. No, your tie can't just be green. It has to be neon forest green. Oh my god, limos are so expensive.
Oh my god!
She can't be in our group. Oh my god, that's so hot. Text it. Text it! Text it! I just love dressing up. Who's in your MORP group? Why do we have to do all of this stuff? I don't even think I'm gonna go to MORP. Tomorrow is gonna be the best night ever.
That's all we have for you today.
For more news, visit mainstreamnews.com.
That's right, and remember, if it's news,
And it's at McKinney High School, it's
It's
MHS1.